Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to focus this video on something very fascinating. Very fascinating to me. I hope it's fascinating to you. And that is the idea of luck. Why is it that, some people seem to have more of it than others? How is it that sometimes, you can be plugging away and doing all the things that you do, right? And working and doing the best that you can, and someone else who maybe is doing way less just gets a plum opportunity or plum role just landing into their lap, right? So what are they doing that is different? Or are they doing something different? Or are you just cursed? It's something that has fascinated me for a very, very long period of time because I have to tell you, I know this is something that varies very much depending on who's saying it and what your experience is. But in my experience, I really don't feel that luck has played a gigantic role in my career, certainly. In other parts of my life, like my personal life, my wife, my family, I'm insanely lucky. I hit the jackpot there. But professionally, I gotta tell you, I really feel like when I look back over my life, my coaching business, before that, my career as a journalist, my career as an author, a novelist, my career, when in my 20s as a film and TV actor, when I look at all of those things, I got to tell you, I always felt that it really bothered me how the lucky breaks really just didn't seem to come. I had to work my way there. And yes, I earned and had successes in each of those things. But in terms of like the effort to output kind of thing, like the effort and results versus luck and results, it was 100% effort. I mean, I got, the first almost year and a half I spent as a working actor, I didn't land a single thing, right? And I would see people who were at the exact same stage that I was, making it happen, right? Getting these opportunities, getting these roles, being able to pay rent at the time, right? Which is a huge, huge dream for me back in my acting days. If you're an actor and you can pay rent, you've got it made. I mean, there's no one more happy than an actor who can pay his rent because it is truly so rare. So it used to bother me there, as a journalist, it used to bother me. And then in my business, I ground it out, just talk about the grind and the hustle. That's all I did. Every client I ever got, every person I ever got for the first 3 years of my business, let's say, it's all through the grind. Not a single one of those people came through the door and was like, here, yeah, absolutely, yeah, why not? I had to win them over painfully. And for each person that I got, it felt like there were 20 or 50 people that I didn't get, that I wasn't able to make it work. And yet other people are not like that, right? You may find that in your career, that you're working as hard as you possibly can, right? You're giving 110% there every single day, and yet other people are advancing, right? So why? That's why I've been thinking about this for a really long period of time and studying the moves that people make in their careers. And the thing that I discovered is this. No one is innately luckier than you are. Over the period of your life, almost everyone gets roughly the same amount of breaks and bad things happen to them. So no one really is innately luckier. However, professionally, some people are smart enough to put themselves into a position where they are going to get more lucky breaks. They specifically make the moves that are going to put them in a place where more happenstance, positive happenstance happens. So what are some ways that you can do that, especially in our online age, right? Here are some of my tips on this front. Okay, number 1, look for opportunities to inject a little bit of personality and positivity into your communication, specifically your email and phone communications. Let me give you an example. The first time I met Erin, my wife, it was under the pretext of a friend of ours in New York who said, hey, I know this woman, she might have a job opportunity for you. I was looking for a job. And that was the pretext, right? So I followed up with her after our dinner, and she still laughs about it because in those days, when I would write an email, it was so ridiculously formal. It looks like a Victorian era letter. The subject line was RE, dinner. And then in the message was from Anish Majumdar to Aaron, RE dinner. Like, it was like a whole recap that I just put in there because I thought I had to, and then it was just like a very brief email. She said she was very confused by that because we had had a very friendly dinner, and then you have this very foreign email. You got to be careful with emails, especially if you're busy and you're blasting them out, because people are going to tend to make assumptions based on that message, right? If they're in a bad mood, they'll look at a brief email, maybe that they'll perceive you to be in a bad mood as well. But people don't think about that. They don't really think about how they're coming across in email. So my first tip to you is, where it's appropriate, if you can spend just an extra 30 seconds wishing someone well, inquiring about something that they're up to, making a little joke, laughing it off, something, being forgiving when someone makes a mistake, right? Injecting a little bit of humor into, sharing a little anecdote, or showing a little positivity, or giving a heads up about something that you've read that you really loved, or inquiring about what shows or movies someone else is talking about. Obviously, you're not going to do that for everything, but I am willing to bet you that at least 30% of the emails that you have to send out and manage over the course of a day can benefit from a little more personality and a little more positivity. And the reason you want to look for those opportunities and get into the habit of doing that is one of the best ways to be memorable. When someone takes an extra line to let me know that they care about me, or they responded to something that I did, it's wonderful. And I really do remember that. And oftentimes I'll think about them later on, or if they ask me for a favor a little bit down the line, I'm so much more receptive to do that, simply because I took that extra step, not to keep it formal, not to just keep it as business as usual, but to say, hey, I hear you, I see you, I like you, what do you think about this? That human face is very, very important. One other thing I'm going to say about why it's important to do that is, I teach something called the hidden triggers in hiring. These are the drivers that people use to influence the hiring process and really drive it to an outcome. And most people don't even know that you're doing that. But once you learn how to do it and what levers to pull, believe me, you have this huge advantage. And what this does, injecting some personality and positivity into your email communications, is it helps with being memorable, and there's something called reciprocity that occurs. When someone takes the time to make you smile for a moment, to make you feel warm, to make you feel like a friend, to inquire about your life, to make you feel seen and valued, you're going to feel some kind of an obligation to reciprocate. And for most people, what happens is that same person who injected some positivity might later ask you for something, might ask for a favor, and that nice moment that you were able to create beforehand is gonna force the other side to be much more receptive towards helping you. So it's a wonderful thing, and it sounds like a very small thing, but it is something that you will see, quote unquote, lucky people who get a lot of lucky breaks. They do that. They spend some extra time on things that other people blow past, and they reap additional rewards because of that. Here's another one. I want you to think about making social and email engagement, outreach, a part of your daily schedule. When you open up your week schedule, like every Tuesday, maybe you can have something like, reconnect with, 5 dormant people who I'm very close with, right? So you're gonna send them emails maybe on that day, or you can have it for anything, right? You can do it for email, you can do it for LinkedIn. What I do for LinkedIn, honestly, and what I did for many years, I had a daily reminder that says daily engagement with my LinkedIn feed. So every day I would just pop up with my LinkedIn feed, and again, just methodically, I would just go through, respond, comment on anything that anyone in my network had been doing that was relevant, for me to chime in on. I would, I obviously share. I'm more active on LinkedIn, so I'll share more posts and things like that, and that's all daily engagement. You can do that very easily. Open up a free Buffer account, link your LinkedIn account to it, and then you can just start putting in a couple of posts. Let's say, like, for the whole week, you can say 1 post a day. I'm just going to send out through my LinkedIn account to start with. That's regular engagement, right? And that kind of regular, systematic engagement is a big, big, big reason why some people find more luck in their careers and others don't. They're just spending more time taking their network seriously. If you're one of these people where you've got this big network and you pride yourself on your big network, but you never do anything to engage with them, you never put anything out there, guess what? You don't have an asset. You just have a bunch of numbers in your LinkedIn thing, which LinkedIn owns, by the way. So you have nothing. The numbers of your LinkedIn profile, how many people you have on your Rolodex, how many people you have in your email contacts means nothing if you are not regularly engaging with them. And so open up your calendar, and every single week I want you to think about what can I do on this day to regularly engage. And you can start small but grow from there. But I'm telling you, the luckiest people in their careers take their network more seriously than they take their job. Like, they take the people that they know way more importantly than wherever they are right now, because they understand that an active, engaged network is absolute currency. Finally, the last big tip I would have is to think about trying to set up at least one informational interview every single week. All right. Again, talking about making these online relationships flesh and blood relationships. Think about sending out, let's say, 3 to 5 messages to people that you already are connected with in some way, email or LinkedIn, and set up a 5 or 10 minute call. And during that 5 or 10 minute call, if you don't talk about anything having to do with yourself, that's fine. The goal of it is to make it real, is to make it flesh and blood, and to start the ball rolling of more people who know, like, and trust you. The more people who know, like, and trust you, the more they're going to think of you and the more opportunities are going to come your way. And that is the essence of good luck in your career. So I hope these tips have been helpful. These are things that I've certainly observed. I'd love to know from you if you have come across certain common traits between those who are more lucky than others in their careers and in life, I guess. Let me know. Shoot me a comment. Let me know. I'd love to really hear from you guys about this topic and really get your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for listening, for coming with me on this journey. I'll talk to you soon.